Good.
All right, so welcome to the Impact AEW portion of the show. There's a lot to talk about, and we're going to go through it kind of quick.
Another show I didn't watch.
So, Impact started off with Thin Juice defeating Ace Romero and Larry D for the tag team championships.
Do you think if Fit Finlay was in WWE that his son would have got the call up? Do you think it's because Fit's not there that he's over here?
Possibly.
Okay.
David Finlay is a good talent, or it could be just he likes the New Japan style. Rhino defeated Jake something in 2 minutes. Shera defeated Rohit Raju in 4 minutes. I believe Rohit Raju is no, he's not the champion anymore. Then we had this big 12-person female tag match, which, why? That match went 9 minutes, and the good girls beat the bad girls. Just put it all out like that. And then the main event was Sami Callihan versus Trey Miguel. We've been talking about it for weeks. This is the big show.
This is the payoff.
Sami Callihan did beat Trey Miguel in 17 minutes and 43 seconds. The only thing that I really want to talk about that I actually did watch is at the end of the show, Don Callis calls out Rich Swann.
Okay. Because guess what's happening for people who might need a recap?
So Rich Swann is the Impact champion. He defeated Moose at the pay-per-view. There is this big match that's going to happen between the Impact champion and the AEW champion.
Which
I'm getting to.
They have promoted as.
That's what I'm getting to. So this is where this happens. So Don Callis does a great job. I go, Rich.
Well, I don't follow Impact on Twitter. I just follow AEW on Twitter. So to me, it appeared as if this was announced on AEW.
Right. So Impact, so Don Callis is like, Rich, you know I love you. I'm the one who brought you here. I'm the one who believed in you when nobody else did. I saw you floundering. You needed a job. I brought you here. You know that. You know I respect you. You know I think that you're the greatest champion in this company. It was, like, believable. I don't like Don Callis. Don Callis plays a great character, but he seemed very genuine in this.
Okay.
And he goes, you are the greatest champion.
Like the rapper? You said genuine.
He seemed very genuine.
It's like...
He seemed very genuine. Anyway, he says, you are the greatest champion in Impact Wrestling. However, you are not the greatest champion. And that is why at the AEW pay-per-view, when you wrestle Kenny Omega, you're going to lose your belt to him because it is a belt
versus belt
match. So the winner of this match potentially will have two companies' belts on their shoulder.
So I need you to tell me
how that works.
How this works.
It doesn't.
As far as I know, Tony Khan has not bought out Impact.
No.
Right?
Correct.
They're currently under contract owned by the cable company, right?
Right.
Kind of like Ring of Honor with Sinclair Broadcasting, right?
And D'Amore, or whatever his name is.
Well, I think he's just the president and the owner, but their contract is with the television company,
correct.
Right? Now, I assume that if Tony Khan and them wanted to, they could just maybe buy the whole company.
Probably very easily.
So that leaves us with
it's going to be
a very interesting thing because, and I have to say, though I'm not watching much of the product except for the recap
it's intriguing to think.
It's incredibly intriguing to think what this is and what this means for wrestling because I cannot think of a recent time where there were two promotions when in fact there was actually one and that name on top of it was McMahon that had a cross-promotion battle where the belts were going to be shared between a single person.
So, currently speaking, Kenny Omega is also the AAA champion.
Okay, but remember, what happens in Japan doesn't count.
Mexico.
Sorry. Oh, yes, sorry, Mexico. What happened? What I meant to say is, what happens overseas doesn't count because I forgot Moxley had the whatever belt.
New Japan.
Yeah, what happens outside of the continental United States doesn't count for the rest
televised,
of the world.
real, week to week.
Yes.
I don't think the match ends with either one of them.
You think this is going to be a screw job?
It's going to be a production. It should be great
because this is taking place at AEW pay-per-view, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It should be amazing.
It should be. Yes.
I just don't think it's going to So, for those that are joining, or saw earlier, I do have this Mexican mask, and I will wear it for the remainder of the show if I get 10 likes. All right.
Has anybody liked us yet?
No.
No one likes us.
Nobody likes this. All right. So,
Can I do this and we're still good
No.
Oh, sorry. Censor bar.
So Impact, a little bit of that. So AEW had a decent show. This was their St. Patrick's weekend.
Wait. Oh, you have Impact written at the top of that.
No, I have AEW written at the top of that.
So this is our AEW portion of the show.
Which ties in, is on the Impact part of the thing. So first out was
Cody.
The first match of the night was Penta and Cody.
Yep.
Probably highlight of the match is Cody the Destroyer, and then a Cody Cutter right after it. Because, Penta can flip people everywhere.
Yes. Penta is probably one of the few people working that I think him and Phoenix would convert to the WWE well, and they would allow them to be them.
Probably. Cody pinned Penta seemingly out of nowhere. Basically, Cody was being beat up this entire match.
As he seems to be in every match now.
And all of a sudden, Penta comes out of nowhere, wins. Cody wins.
Yes.
Penta then beats up Cody's shoulder. QT shows up late. This is just more QT leaving the match.
I feel like this is like Cody's so hard on not being H that he's like
being H.
He's being H, but he's also like course correcting like way too far out of the realm of what is supposed to be.
The Jacksons did an interview backstage. Callis tried to give him a shirt for Papa Buck, which said "Don't slap the leg," because that's official AEW merch.
Nice, yes.
And then the Bucks are like, "Hey, what happened to that shiner? What happened to your face? Remember you were?" He's like, "Yeah, that was me lying. You got me. I was just trying to get you to do something. I was trying to get the Bucks to actually be someone, but you just want to be nobody, and that's why Kenny doesn't call you anymore."
So we just killed that storyline by killing the Bucks at the same time, right?
Yes and no.
Wow. And not to mention the fact that it's
Don Callis back on AEW.
But Kenny has said with him and Callis and Jericho that they watch the show, right?
Yeah.
They've all made comments that they watch the show. So therefore, next week, Kenny Omega should say, "Hey Don, I watched the show. That shiner was fake."
Oh, he doesn't care. Kenny's got more important things to worry about.
So all of this just got dropped. This was 4 weeks of television?
Yeah.
That just got dumped in a 90-second segment?
Yes.
Okay.
So Jade came back out. She is impressive. The biggest part of the Shaq match was showing just how impressive this Jade girl is. She is a monster.
She just can't talk.
No, she squashed a young lady named Danny Jordan who had a 1-12 record.
Danny Jordan. Why do I know that name?
So that match lasted a minute. Here comes MJF and company. So MJF has started his own stable. Here comes Wardlow, Sean Spears, FTR, Tully Blanchard. Tully Blanchard gives a great promo talking about how, the future of the company. They are now called the Pinnacle. That is their name. It is not the Four Horsemen. We don't have to worry about a horseman's lawsuit. They are the Pinnacle.
Oh, do we want to talk about that here, or do we want to talk about that in a little bit when we get to the double E?
The double E.
Okay.
MJF, amazing heel in this. The promo is just MJF being amazing. I can't talk about
Which is why what we're going to talk about in a little bit would be awesome.
So then we have the Jurassic, as I told you last week, Jurassic Express and Bear Country versus Private Party, Matt Hardy, Butcher and the Blade.
Butcher, where's my new damn album at?
Bear Country threw Marco over the ropes.
Oh, God.
And Butcher saved his life. Butcher saw him coming because they were doing the big everybody on the outside of the ring. Butcher saw him coming and basically got in between him and the guardrail where his head was heading because Marco was going down like this.
Yeah.
Like, he got thrown over everybody.
Yeah.
And Butcher saved his life. Straight up. We didn't see...
okay.
And for whatever reason, Marco was the one that was legal for the rest of the match.
Okay.
Because everybody else was fighting over here or fighting over there. Yes.
So this right here sounds like, by the way, that's why we recognize her, is because she was on the DDP Yoga.
Oh, okay.
So it sounds like something got out of whack and somebody almost died and then the match kind of fell apart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So Matt Hardy ends up pinning Marco Stunt with a twist of fate.
Matt seems to be involved in a lot of like near misses recently, so I think anyone should probably, whatever weird Hopi curse is on the Hardy clan, needs to just stay the hell away from it. I assume it's because they built the compound on. Yeah.
Where on the set of the Poltergeist.
Yeah, just stay away from him.
My next note was John.
They didn't move the bodies.
I love that, the swimming pool.
Yes.
My next.
Go watch Poltergeist. It's
It was one of the only movies that ever scared me. Truly, yes. I had one of those clowns, and I had a tree that scratched my window.
Oh God, that clown was so frightening.
So I wrote my next note is John should be at home instead of doing horrible pre-tapes with Eddie.
Yeah.
Then we did a Christian pre-tape. He is the workhorse of pro wrestling.
Which is fair. He kind of is.
He's here for the AEW belt. He wants Kenny. He's in AEW to cement his legacy. That is why he's here. Everyone says, why are you here? Why did you come here? Why did you choose this? He wants to cement his legacy, and he feels that AEW is the place to do it. He's done everything else everywhere else.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's not lying. He's been a world champion. He's been an Impact champion. He's been a tag team champion. He's been a everywhere champion. So what else is he gonna do? The only I would have said before I saw the pay-per-view this week, I would have said that the only drawback is seeing a New Day versus Edge and Christian match would have been really cool. But after watching the pay, we'll get there. Yeah.
So next we have Moxley and Kingston versus the Good Brothers. There's a lot of fighting before the bell rings. Are you surprised?
Not surprised at all. Moxley should not be here, and you should be with your wife.
They isolated Eddie in the ring what felt like forever. Then John beats up the entire match.
Because he has to come in and play King Kong.
John won with a schoolboy. Then Kenny shows up with a chair. He tries to put the chair across his throat. I'm like, oh, good. Maybe this is where we're going to finally send Moxley home. Nope, the Bucks stop it.
Like, we can't be the only ones who are like, John, go home.
Right.
Just go home for a little while.
So Kenny wants to do the salute, and the Bucks walk away. So the Bucks heels now, or not? I don't know.
Or wait, Kenny's a heel.
Right, so that makes the Bucks
faces.
But they've been... Yeah, exactly.
But they...
Exactly. So then we have...
And we just dumped the storyline anyway, right? Yes. Or did we not?
Yes.
Or did we just dump the Don Callis part of the Buck storyline?
So talking about bucking storylines. Talking about bucking storylines, you're going to love this one. So now we have Sting and Darby.
No.
This was a very interview-heavy show.
And they're both mine. What happened?
So Darby says, I want to know why I've only defended this belt 3 times in the last 3 months. This is a joke. I want to be a champion that defends my title.
Okay.
Fair point. He calls out the Dark Order. He says, I want to wrestle the best former TNT champion ever. I want to wrestle someone from the Dark Order. So, nice homage to John Hayward.
Right.
So...
Who only had, I believe, 14 matches in AEW when I looked it up?
Right. So, Archer interrupts again.
Okay.
Yep.
That's fine. You guys have been great.
Yeah. They want his time. Jake tells Sting, you better watch your butt. You know what I'm all about.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. Are we going to see a Jake versus Sting cinematic match?
Oh, Lord, no. Oh, Lord, no. Oh, maybe.
So then Taz comes out. Team Taz. Whoa, 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 whoa. Taz doing his thing. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why are we talking about TN? And Darby and Sting are like, dude, we're done with you. We've moved past you. And Taz is like, no, you have not moved past. And then Cage goes, you know what, Taz, for once, I'm going to speak for myself. Grabs the mic from Taz.
Well, there goes Taz's career. I guess his contract's coming up.
And he goes, Sting, after what we did at the pay-per-view, I have to tell you right now, you are the icon, and you have my respect.
Oh, God.
And then the rest of Taz is like...
So did Cage just turn face?
Yeah! Or just had... Yeah, it was weird. And then, so now, I don't know, maybe it's going to be a Cage versus Powerhouse Hobbs, or Cage... I don't know.
So they're splitting up the FTW guys because...
And he still has the FTW belt, or is Taz going to strip him of it?
Well, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, interesting questions. So then we have Rey Fenix versus Angelico. I just wrote, why?
I believe this is the one I actually know the answer of.
It was a 7-minute match, and it happened because Pac was going to show up.
Yes, this is because Pac has an ankle injury, apparently. So that is why Pac was not on the show and why it was replaced. He came back.
Yeah.
So people are saying they're happy that he's back, and it's just unfortunate that the reason he's back is because Pac got hurt.
I was never really been much of an Angelico fan, but okay. So then Miro is working out. Last season. Miro, will you take on... So we have that horrible announcer guy. Will you take on Chucky T?
Yeah.
And he's like, I've moved on. I've got bigger things to do. I want nothing to do with that. And Kip's like, he ruined my wedding. We are not done with them. And he's like, Miro says, I don't care. And here's some advice for you. Having your wife ringside is nothing but trouble.
Because you were in WWE.
Trust me.
Yes.
So then he walks off, and Kip says, we're taking the match. So it looks like Miro's trying to distance himself from this whole horrible angle of being the best man and actually be the monster he should be. Which we're just taking forever to get there. Then they interview the Dark Order. Who's going to accept the match? -1 comes and says, I'll take the match. And they go, whoa, wait.
That's cute.
Let's give it about a decade. You're only 9.
So
they are so taken. Now, did you see the wife's tweet?
No, I did not.
So people, fans, whatever, they were really attacking John Hoover's wife, Amanda. You know, like your son is on TV. They're promoting the death of your husband. They're what's the word I'm looking for? They're glorifying it. They're not. And she's like, you do not understand how these people bend for me. They are giving my son works hard at work so that he can go to a taping because he can't go to taping unless his homework's done. You haven't seen my son doing homework backstage with the wrestlers. This is the family. Don't even dare say that they are using me. Basically, everything that Owen Hart's widow says,
yeah,
the fans are saying that's what they're doing to her. And she's like, you've got this completely wrong. So until you know and walk a mile in my shoes, F off.
I mean, like I said, I pitched the story
right.
the week it happened, and then they've taken it further and done some more stuff than I would have done with it. But at the same time, it's like
they're completely honoring
you people for letting a 9-year-old live his dream.
Right.
Oh my God! If my son came to me and I was in a position and he's like, Dad, Mom's dead, but Mom did this thing, and I want to do this thing.
Right.
I think I would probably be like, okay, yeah, we'll do it. You know? Like, how...
Yeah.
The gall of some people
right.
to do that. And you know what? If they're exploiting him, 1, he was a performer.
Right.
2, he's dead, so it doesn't matter. And 3,
explaining
a
the story.
Person who just lost the patriarch of their family is still collecting a paycheck.
Yeah.
In COVID...
world?
Restoration world that we're in right now, in a profession that doesn't have health insurance, doesn't take care of people, and definitely does not have a 401k, death insurance, life insurance, whatever kind of plan you want to talk about. So, kiss the whitest part of my ass. I
All
can
right.
say ass, right?
Yeah, you can say ass.
Ass.
So John Silver takes the match. I think that'll be a decent match. And then it's been covered all over the internet. I do highly recommend this match. Britt Baker versus
Son of a gun, this was a good match.
Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa, lights out match. I wrote Britt's trying to cover her. Why? Oh, okay, it's a 10 count thing. I thought lights out meant you don't get up from a 10 count. Oh, okay. They had chairs, they had tables, they had ladders, they had both people bleeding. Britt bleeding herself just a little too deep on her hairline and was pouring blood.
Now, I do think that this is a little bit set back from the fact that we've had a lot of bloodbath matches on AEW as the main event over the last few weeks. I probably would have held this off until WrestleMania weekend, counter programming to that, because we do know who's coming on our side, my side anyway, for that. But this, and I saw it too. What I saw was I saw her in the back with the blood pouring down her face, with them pulling the stuff out of her back.
Out of her back.
And I went, oh, shoot, what did they do to these girls? And then I watched it and I went,
it was a great match.
This was a damn good match. You should go out of your way to watch it.
It did tell the story it was supposed to. It wasn't a Moxley gratuitous violence match.
No.
The match told the story.
They put it together. It worked good. The violence worked good. We're not used to seeing females in this position. Even on hardcore shows, there's very few gals that really work hardcore style.
I thought the tax was a bit much until they didn't. It worked. It really did.
And also, the thing that I did like about this is that the finish sold the match. It wasn't just
Iron Thunder driver off of the ring through the table.
Because where else were you going to go with that?
Right.
And they didn't do the stupid Moxley thing with the roll-up, or all of a sudden he just wins from a random a shot. Yeah, this is
the main event.
This is the main event. This is a good, blocked-out, well-done match to cap off your show that actually didn't sound half bad, except for this was probably a good, what would you say, 70-30 show?
Oh, yeah. This, I gave it 3.5 stars. I probably, after rethinking it and rewatching the highlights, it was definitely a 4-star match. She was hoping... there was a lot of press afterwards. So Adam Cole watched it live.
Yes.
And as soon as the match...
imagine he's probably like, ooh,
at the end of the match, he was on his phone, and he was on the match, and she's like, I need to talk to Adam, because Adam Cole, his wife, are married to Britt Baker on 2 separate shows, 2 different companies.
Yeah.
And he's like, let me talk to... He calls the trainer, and the trainer's like, well, we're working... Put me on with my wife. And he's like, well, before you see her... Put me on the phone with my wife.
Nice.
Okay. Like, we're just trying to clean her up first.
Yeah.
But he said he was never more proud of her. Mick Foley put out a message that he was proud of her.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre put a message out on how proud of he was. It was a...
So, we should expect to see Dr. Britt in...
She did a great job.
NXT. Wait, was she there before and got let go?
Yes.
She got let go, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, okay.
Dave did give it 4 3/4 stars. And that for a women's match is...
I think Uncle Dave might be smoking the hopium a little bit there, but...
He gave Cody and El Penta a 3 3/4 star match.
Nah, dog, nah.
But she said she was hoping for... She's like, it would be a dream of mine to get a 5-star match. And I think that's why he just gave it 4 3/4. Don't waste your time on him.
Don't waste your time on Uncle Dave.
On chasing waterfalls, as they say. So, it was...
Thanks for that.
It was an amazing match. It did cap off the AEW show well. A lot of good things, a lot of story projection, a lot of stories that are just kind of getting jumbled. And I'm just excited to see where it goes. So, that concludes our AEW and Impact review.
If you're going to watch a match from either of these, I definitely recommend going and watching the Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa match.